Okay, so coming to some of your, opinions that have come up time and again in your talks and in your columns, you call the buy blue chips stocks and then just hold a myth. So, as an investor, I also used to do that because that's the easiest thing to do. You just, buy a trustworthy company and then forget about it and maybe look at the stocks 10 to 20 years later. But you say that that's a wrong way to invest.
Because you don't know what is a blue chip at a point in time, whether that will remain a so-called blue chip. So if you look at the original Sensex list, there were all these companies which were, look at the industries. It were industries like textile, paper, shipping, or for that matter, the makers of Fiat and Ambassador, Hindustan Motors and Premier Automobiles. There were all these groups which used to be at one time the leading groups, Mafatlal, JK, Singhania, Modi's, Thapars, which all of Scindia. So all these have become far less relevant today.
Yeah,
so that was, and they were not fly-by-night companies. They were all, when the original Sensex was formed, I looked at the list of 30. All those companies had a very long history. The only company with a relatively short history was Indian Hotels. Other than that, all the 29 companies had very long histories. And yet this is what happened. If you look at how the Sensex and Nifty list has changed over the years. So many fashions have come and gone, so many companies from Reliance Power to Suzlon and Satyam to Yes Bank have been part of these indices and gone out. At one time, I think 10 out of the 30 Sensex companies were PSUs. Then in between, people forgot that PSUs were listed and, you could invest in PSUs. Yeah. At one time, there were zero banks and financial institutions in these indices about 25 years ago. Now they are the highest weight. Yeah. So all these fashions come and go. So when people say, oh, if somebody's grandparents had invested in Hindustan Lever or HDFC Bank, that this is what they would have compounded. But that's not the only thing they would have invested in. Yes. So people actually bring sometimes their parents or grandparents' portfolios, and most of them are just full of junk.
Yeah, right,
So you remember the successes, you forget all the failures. The banking alone, people talk of that compounding in HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra, and they forget how many banks actually went belly up.
Right.
Times Bank, Global Trust Bank, Centurion Bank, half a dozen public sector banks. Yes Bank went through a problem.
Yeah.
So, so many banks went through major issues. So you are only talking of the ones that made it in a sense.
Yeah. True.